This is the time of year we start getting a lot of phone calls and people getting excited about, training in the postseason, which is cool, right? And we have a very low turnover with our academy, right? But what happens is we have a lot of people who just don't commit. I would say, well, statistically, it's 76% bounce rate. Not with us, it's just in general. People get excited, they go online, they're typing, they're signing up for the new gym membership or something, and then they're just getting ready to type their info, and then they back out. 76%, that's a statistic nationwide. That's three-fourths. Three-fourths of the people quit just before they even started. So I think that's one of the reasons we have such a low turnaround rate, is because the athletes and parents, mostly parents, who make a decision to train with us, they locked in the beginning. So that's been very interesting to me, why this happens, how we can try to fix this, and ultimately through talking to some pros and so forth. Human nature, it is what it is. Don't try to change it. Just chase more 24%ers, right? So from just a sheer marketing standpoint, that's the fact. But why do so many people back out and quit? Why do you, maybe if you're watching this, how to be more disciplined? I'm certainly not the most disciplined guy in the world, but I do know there's a few things I've learned through trial and error, which is the stupidest way to learn. It takes decades sometimes. And some of these things I learned through parents or some great coaches I had, and just observing some teammates, right? And just listening, learning, having my eyes open. Here's some few things I would share with you. Number one, make sure you have a group of people who are on the same track. They're not pulling you down, right? If you're trying to do better in school and all your buddies are clowns, you need to ask the teacher to move you. Move to a different seat. You want to sit in the first 3 rows of the classroom. Maybe you just have the guts, you just show up and one day you walk in the classroom and you sit there yourself. I had very good friends since kindergarten. 7th grade, they started hanging out with some kids who I thought were losers. They started drawing pot leaves on their notebooks. One day I grabbed my lunch tray and I went and sat with my soccer buddies and wrestling buddies, and I never sat with those guys again. And I asked my teacher to change seats. I think it was 6th grade actually. And I never even talked to them again. And I feel like that was kind of a good thing, to learn to say, you know what, you people are below me. So I would encourage you to do that, Give up some of your friends. Find a new group of friends. Or if some of your friends are just maybe not motivated like you, but they're not toxic and they're not pulling you down, pretty cool. They can be your friends to hang out with, but they're not your friends to have success with. So find some friends to have success with, because, there are strength in numbers. We are social animals. And, then you can say, hey, if I ever skip the weight room in the morning, I want you to call me and make fun of me, right? And now you're putting some pressure on yourself. Or there are people who will, you guys say, hey, at the beginning of every month, we're going to sit down, we're going to map out our next 2 weeks training regimen. So you get friends like that who are on the success train like you, it gets to be easier because, when we all need a kick in the butt, but you don't like getting a kick in the butt from your parents. Your coaches aren't always around. So you want to surround yourself with friends, and you just have kind of a buddy system, and there's an accountability system there as well. Maybe even building some nice rewards or something, right? So think about coming up with not a social success network, you could say. Number 2, you definitely want to make it convenient. Don't make it about willpower. If there's a big jar of candy by your bedside, it takes willpower not to eat that. What if you didn't have any candy in the house? It takes less willpower. Don't make it all about willpower, because you're going to lose on occasion and then you feel bad about yourself. So don't make it about willpower. If it's weightlifting or something, make it convenient, right? Don't say I got to get up at 5 in the morning and lift weights before school. Dude, if you're not a morning person, why would you do that? You can lift weights once a week before wrestling season. Then on a Sunday, right? There's your 2 workouts. Off season, you probably should be in the gym 3 or 4 days a week. Do it right after school, right? Make it convenient. Right after school, within 20 minutes, I'm in the weight room. Boom. Now it's convenient. It's not always about willpower. You don't always have to suffer. It takes willpower to lift weights when it's convenient. It's going to take a lot of willpower to lift weights when it's not convenient, right? So don't make it all about willpower, because you're not feeling bad about yourself. And maybe your willpower isn't strong enough yet. There will come a time when you're older, you can have a jar of cookies sitting right there and you won't touch it. You just won't. But you're probably not there yet. So don't set yourself up for failure and beat yourself up. Last thing I would say is climb some small mountains. You're not going to wake up one day and try to climb Mount Everest. You're just not going to. But you can conquer some small mountains. So that comes back to what we just said too, right? You have a workout plan, you're sticking to it. But I like to say underachieve your way to the top. That's not my phrase, it's a common phrase. You probably heard it before. Underachieve your way daily. So I want to be an underachiever, but I want to do it 7 days a week, 6 days a week. Where some people don't do anything for 3 or 4 weeks, then they feel like a you-know-what or a piece of crap. Then they set some big 12-hour workout plan for the next 2 days, and then they do that, and then they're sore, and then they're like, I can't do this again, this is too much. And then they quit, and then they sit back down for another 2 months, and they feel like a loser, and then they're on the yo-yo path. You don't want to be like that. So you set yourself up for success with some small hurdles. It's going to be tremendous, because ultimately you want to get into the habit of pulling the trigger muscle. There's a muscle, some people talk themselves out of success. That 24%, they're trigger pullers. Boom, 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 right? There are people who pull the trigger. They say, yes, let's go. I'll figure it out later. That's the key. I have a buddy who's extremely successful, started a business at 19. Now he's in a different business. He's like, he gave me advice years ago, 21 years ago. He's like, don't plan anything out too much. Make a decent plan, dive in. Figure it out later, Nick. People spend too much time planning, and then they talk themselves out of it. Say yes, figure it out later, right? Jump out of the airplane, make a parachute on the way down. I tell people this, I have a video on this. What should I do if I want to wrestle and I want to get better, but I don't have partners? I just don't know where to start. I said this, get your wrestling shoes, go to a wrestling mat, or go down in your basement and say, what can I do? Well, maybe I can do stance and motion. All right, put the clock at 6 minutes. Man, I'm dog tired. What else can I do? 200 push-ups. Okay, good. Maybe I can do a little stretching. Hey, there's a jump rope. Maybe I can jump rope. Holy cow, I suck at jumping rope. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go to YouTube. Look, this 5-year-old girl can jump rope 100 times better than me. Maybe I need to jump rope every night. I suck. Well, good. There's those dumbbells Grandpa got me. You start picking those up. Before you know it, you're working out. But you've been upstairs for the past 2 years saying, I don't know what to do. Dude, you just got to walk down to the basement, turn the light on, and then say, look around. I mean, shit, if there's a chair, pick the chair up 700 times. You pick a chair up 700 times, you're going to have a strong back. I don't know. Just pull the trigger. But by setting yourself up for success, by climbing these little small mountains, right? Underachieve your way to this top. The aggregation of marginal gains. That's the secret right there. The aggregation of marginal gains. So me and my brother, my dad taught me this. Well, actually, the Soviet coach we had did too. My dad just reiterated it all the time. He said, just do one thing every day for your wrestling. This Soviet guy. Just one thing. He said, we were young at the time, right? We did other sports. He was like we're 12. He's like, if you're at soccer practice and the coach makes you do sprints, and it was, I mean, he didn't talk like this. He was complete Russian, right? He said, do 2 extras. Always do 1 extra. 1 extra for your wrestling, but do another extra to be a champion, right? And I remember my brother and I, we were carrying these heavy wooden ladders from my dad, and I busted out and started like military pressing this thing. So I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Marlon said to always do something for your wrestling." Tony's like, give me that. So yeah, we were curling. We worked out with his ladder for about 10 minutes in the hot sun. It was cool though, right? Always do something for your wrestling. But so the whole thing about doing one thing every day for your wrestling, it simply means this. You're working on that muscle of pulling the trigger, right? So underachieve your way to the top. What's that mean? Don't have a 5-hour weightlifting program. You're not a bodybuilder. Have 4 lifts. Only 4 lifts I'm required to do. I like some kind of a chest, bench or incline, some kind of a military press or side shoulder shrug, shoulders, right? Some kind of a leg and some kind of a pull, whether I'm doing pull-ups with weights on my waist, and then legs, it can be walking lunges, deadlifts, or squats. That's it. I have 4 exercises. Maybe next time I'll do deadlifts. Maybe next time I'll do walking lunges. Then next time I lift, I'll do squats again. Keep rotating through. But I only have 4 lifts. 3 sets of, let's say, 6 to 12, depending upon what your goals are. You can lift four exercises in 20 minutes, right? You do bench, shoulder, bench, shoulder, bench, shoulder. Then you do back, legs, back, legs, back, legs. So there's no rest. Then guess what? You're out of there in 18 minutes. But sometimes, so the days when willpower is required, then what are you doing? You're like, dude, I can do this. I don't have to lift weights for 3 hours. I only got to lift weights for 18 minutes. Right? So you took the willpower out of it. Secondly, a lot of times you're going to be like, you're going to feel good. You're in the weight room, man, and all the cheerleaders are there. You got good music. Your buddies are there. Your favorite coach is there. You're going to bust out a 2-hour lift. That was not planned. But if you had a 2-hour lift hanging over your head after school, you might not have went. Right? But you set yourself up with a small mountain to climb. So there's some good tips. If you're interested in more, you can check out Instagram. We have hundreds of videos there. Obviously YouTube, this should be on YouTube. About 1,000 videos here. PurlerWrestling.com. We have camps, clinics, online videos, online academy. $4 million so far in scholarships earned by our kids. We have a college recruiting center. Once a month we have weekend camps. We have Friday night fights, competition camps. Our summer camps are sold out almost every year for 16. We have our own training center at 17,000 square foot. We own it. It's outside of St. Louis, 30 miles. Kids coming in from all over the place to our camps. We got calls this year from South Africa, Turkey, and Poland. I'm not sure if they'll come. Probably won't. Did have kids from Japan last year, and in the past, Canada and Mexico. Already kids sign up for our 28-day challenge from Alaska. So they come from everywhere. In our academy, we average 130 state medalists a year. Last year in 2019, we had 56, I think it was, state finalists, 48 state champs, something like that. 70% winning percentage in the finals. We're the best leg riders in America. So we have a lot to offer. You can check us out at PurlerWrestling.com. We have about 8 or 10 different training packages and programs, including video evaluation, full season mentoring programs. Trevor handles that. So whatever your needs are, we'll take care of it. You can check us out. Good luck.